welcome. This is Shapeshifters of Wraith. I'm here with Zoe, who has been attendant at the recent US Nationals as a invited guest. We had 4 invited guests this time. Zoe, shall we proceed with a little bit of outline of the event for you?
Yeah, of course. So this was my second cosplay event or event where I cosplayed with the, post cosplay changes, RIP the competitions. um, but it was it was very similar to Japan. Obviously, we had our full 4, as opposed to Japan where we only had 3, unfortunately. But yeah, I was one of the 4 sponsored cosplayers, and it was pretty simple the way it worked. I mean, they explained it all in the new update post for the cosplay updates. And what we did was day 1 at 5 p.m. or sorry, 6 p.m. we had to show up for the promo event in cosplay. We were given a box of packs to give out as our bounty. So if you beat us, you got a free pack. And then so that was pretty simple. You just had to play the entire night out and then go home. Day 2 was when we had our meet and greet with the other cosplayers, the other invited guests who were not sponsored by LSS. So we had to show up at 5:30 in cosplay. We sort of met up. We took some group photos. We took some individual photos, and then we went to play in the 6 p.m. there. Then on Sunday, and I believe this is new, or at least I don't remember them doing it in Japan. It might have been different in Prague. They had all of the guest or the sponsored cosplayers play in the 3 p.m. CC event rather than the 5 p.m. I believe it was Sealed or Sage. So that was really interesting. You kind of had to sit and cosplay for a little bit longer, but it was still pretty fun. You got to play CC. My last opponent didn't show up, so I kind of got to break away a little bit faster, which was nice. But yeah, it was a pretty simple process. Being in cosplay for 3 days, I definitely had a lot of realizations. Like I need to bring vodka water with me to clean my cosplays in between days because it was starting to not smell so pleasant after a
Yeah,
certain while,
yeah,
and I definitely regret that.
yeah. So I guess you did all the things in cosplay. Did you manage to squeeze any like fun events not in cosplay for yourself, or was
Oh,
it
for
quite
sure.
exhausting just doing those ones?
It was definitely exhausting. It definitely felt like a job, right? Whereas on the Saturday events when it was just us playing the competition, or even when they had the change and I was just a guest and not a sponsored cosplayer, that felt fine. I was in cosplay, I played for a couple rounds, and then I dropped and went home. There wasn't that much of a pressure on it. But having that like time restraint of you have to be here at this time to play in this event definitely felt more like a job than it did a hobby or just going for fun. Um, and yes, I did end up playing in other events. So I actually had one of our armory friends. He qualified for Nats and he wanted to bring his kiddo around. So I ended up volunteering to watch said kiddo, and so he was playing at events with me. And it was really, really
Mm.
fun to see him enjoy his first big event. He's only 8 years old, but he's like a killer at armories. So people were always very shocked to see like, oh, there's a kid here, like easy win or whatever. And then they'd lose to him
Mm.
and they'd be like, oh, or like
Mm.
or he'd put up a fight even if he did lose, right?
Yeah.
So that was really fun getting to see him play in the side events and stuff like that. On Saturday, we did I forget what it was. I want to say like 10 or 11 a.m. sealed.
Mm.
And that was really neat. I actually, funny moment, I paired into Jacob Clements round 1,
Mm.
like the Jacob Clements, and I beat him, and I was like texting everyone, I beat him, I beat him, I did it, I'm a real player. Um,
Yeah.
and then day 2, we played in the Sage event in the morning before I had to go get ready. And then me and Amanda ended up going back to my hotel and getting ready together. Since I had the hotel block, that was like literally a 5-minute walk away through the skywalks. And then
Oh, nice.
Sunday, I did not. Sunday, I did the first round of the showdown just to get the tournament pack and get one game in. But then I went back to the hotel and I took a little nap because by day three of cosplaying every day, you're
Yeah.
pretty friggin' exhausted, and so I needed a couple more hours before I had to get back into cosplay.
Yeah, yeah. That would have been a lot.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So shall we go into these photos that we've got? These were mostly supplied on the cosplay Discord, that anybody who's interested in the cosplay and supporting or doing cosplay is more than welcome to ask for an invite from any cosplayer. We don't generally put it out, but most cosplayers will readily give you an invite to come in. So let's get this presentation. So we're starting with this wonderful couple of cosplayers. We have a name for the Betsy. I'll just grab it
Oh, we
here.
we did
But
end up getting a name for the Bravo as well. I'm seeing it in the Discord.
oh, nice, nice. Yeah, because I hadn't seen that yet. That's good. So Bravo was Daniel and Sharmadella. Is that does that sound right?
Scarmadella? Scamadella?
Sharmadella?
Scarmadella? A
Yeah.
little difficult. Sorry, Daniel.
And we got Beaupre as the um, amazing. Sure, that's the yeah, as the Betsy Beaupre. So the best picture I had of them was together. So that's what most of the other ones will be just one cosplayer, but that's just such a cool picture. And props to her because I think that's her real stomach, and I don't think I could do that. I think that that's just an amazing thing she did. Like, not yeah, it's just yeah,
Yeah. I think that's the great thing about having characters that represent all groups of people,
Mm.
right? Like, and I've talked about this in the Discord before. My mom is a plus size woman, um, similarly in size to Bo here. And when I first took her to an event at Calling San Diego, she saw one of the posters of Betsy and was like, "Oh my God, I could cosplay her!" And was like
Yeah.
so excited, right? And that's coming from a woman who is, Gen X, hasn't really seen a lot of that representation of
Yes,
herself,
yeah, yeah,
and so it's really cool to see cosplayers who can, you know, use their body to cosplay as someone who represents them. I think that's awesome. And I remember like lighting up, being so excited when I saw this Betsy cosplayer. I think these guys cosplayed all 3 days.
yeah,
So mad props to them. And they went the whole day. Like they didn't
yeah,
get out of cosplay. They weren't like me. They didn't leave to go get out or get into cosplay and come back.
yeah,
They were in it to win it. And I
yeah,
loved that for them. They looked absolutely fantastic. I didn't get to speak to the Bravo as much, unfortunately, but he looks absolutely fantastic too.
yeah.
Um, just, yeah, absolutely fantastic. They were both, from what I could understand, so sweet. So wonderful, wonderful people.
All right, so here's the next one, which is the Atiklavossin, and I've got his name here thanks to our Discord group. So his name is Devon Knocker, Crocker,
Cooker, I
um,
think Cooker.
Cooker. So Devon Cooker. So yeah, he looks really cool. I really like the hand thing he's done. I think that comes out really nicely. There's a lot of
Mhm.
young heroes, so I think this is a reflection on our earlier um, thing when they said they wanted young heroes, and it shows the time it takes to make cosplayers. So these people have come in, they're young heroes, and we're still like big on stage, so they're still relatively on par, on subject.
Yeah, I agree. And like the young hero cosplays, I think are some of the easier cosplays to do.
Mm,
Especially if you're a newer cosplayer or a more casual cosplayer where you just kind of want to like, if you don't necessarily have all the sewing skills or all of the leather making skills or all of the foam skills, you can just go to the thrift store and get something to
Mm,
throw together and be like, oh yeah, I completely thrifted this and that's totally awesome.
yeah,
Um, I love his armband. It looks so good. Uh, and I love the addition of the belts that he has on his leg. Super,
yeah,
super cool. I love seeing simpler cosplays, and I think that's one of the greater or one of the better things about the new cosplay change is that
yeah.
it leaves room for people to be able to do simpler cosplays. And I sometimes simple can be fantastic. Obviously, he looks amazing. What a good young Teklo.
And
I'm
easier to play
loved
in,
it.
right?
Yeah, so much easier to play in. Yes, I don't know how, we'll see it later. I don't know how Rachel Max Ferocity, I don't know how she did it.
Ah, yeah. So this is oh, what was her name again?
Amanda.
Amanda. She looked wonderful. I know she had was asking lots of questions in the Discord. With that stomach piece, she wasn't sure about whether she put it in or out, but it looks amazing. Her finished product is great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love this costume. I love the fabric that she used. You can really tell that she really lovingly put it together and she had really like thought through everything and every single piece. She told me that she had decided to go for the face paint or the body paint on the arm to sort of get that like the glowing ethereal look that Aurora
yeah,
kind of has. And instead of doing a glove, she went with the arm paint. And I think that really worked for her.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, like you said, she had messaged a lot in the Discord, asking for advice and information and help. And I think that's the great thing about this community is that
yeah.
everyone's really willing to help everyone.
Yeah, everybody was very helpful, and I think her end product was amazing. And I think that a lot of the questions you're asking, she was just asking for, am I doing the right thing? I think a lot of her ideas were her own, so it was good to have that support for her. So next one. So this one we've only got the one photo of, but it's a brilliant photo. It wouldn't be an event without a spring tunic, to be honest.
So
But it looks
true.
lovely. And
Yeah. This was so she decided she wanted to bring her spring tunic along from Vegas last year as well. This was her cosplay that she took to Nats last year in Vegas.
nice.
And she was like, "Well, I want to cosplay on day 3 as well, so I'll just reuse my old one because I
Yeah,
feel like we don't get the chance to rewear our old cosplays very much in this
yeah.
community because we're always having to make new ones and they're always supposed to be bigger and better
Mm,
and more of everything. And so
yeah,
having a simple one to bring to just cosplay for fun is nice, you
yeah.
know?
And Amanda did a wonderful job. It was Amanda, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
Amanda.
yeah, yeah. So she's done a wonderful job. Yeah, finding all the right trims because I've done this one is quite an interesting problem. So she's done so well. And here we have you, and your costume looks amazing. So yeah, yay. Do you
Thank
want to
you.
tell us a bit about this build?
Yeah, so this build took me quite a few weeks. I started working on it on May 18th, and I believe uh the whole blah, Nats itself was June 11th. No, yeah, 11th or something along those lines. Um, Time has no meaning anymore. I'm a substitute teacher, and the summers mean it all goes over my head. Um, but this costume was so fun and interesting to make. This was my first time sewing sleeves, so that was a learning curve.
Mm,
Um, I had to make the pattern for the shirt myself. I bought those boots. I did all of the embellishments on them. I was freaking out the whole time. This was like probably the most intense I got on styling a wig that I've ever done. It took a lot of my previous skills that I had learned for other cosplays and really culminated into this. So I'm so proud of it and I'm really happy with it. Um, it's not a me cosplay though. If I don't shout out my bestie, my old housemate Ian, they're a costumer, and I remember explicitly like the day before we had to leave for the event, I was having a full mental breakdown over the shirt and and just generally how I looked in it because I was like, it's too bulky. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with the shirt. I don't know what to do with this with the cape. I'm losing my mind. And I called my bestie and they were like, okay, calm down.
Mm.
Let me see the art. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. And then they like talked me through it the entire time and they like were on call if I ever had any more issues. So I want to shout them out too. I don't think this cosplay would have happened without them
Yeah, yeah.
calming me down. I think I would have even gotten on that flight. Like so real. Um
Mm.
so yeah, it was definitely a learning curve, but I had so much fun and I every cosplay that I do, I improve my skills just a little bit more, and this
Yeah.
one was definitely testing that.
Just a question. The cracked wobble frame, was it like a wipe clean and put something back on? Did somebody kind of make that?
Yes. Yes. So the cracked bauble, I don't know if he ended up putting any photos of himself in the chat. Um, but the cracked bauble was another cosplayer who actually had cosplayed cracked bauble, and
Oh,
he had a paper mache. I'm so sad if we don't have any photos of him.
I don't
He
have
had a
any
paper
photos. No.
mache. That's so tragic. Okay. Well, he had a paper mache sphere around his head, or it looked like paper mache to me, with like the paint to look like a cracked bubble. And then he held this poster up with the cutout so that he would be the cracked bubble. And then he also had like a yellow shirt on to represent that it pitches for yellow.
Oh,
Um,
wow. That's so
it was
cool.
so awesome. And then yeah, he went around to all the cosplayers and had them take photos with the cracked bauble frame. And then he would have a wet erase marker so that he could erase whatever they wrote and then you could write whatever you were on it instead of cracked bauble, which was
Yeah,
so
no,
cute. I
that's so cute.
loved that concept.
Yeah. Just having a quick squiz, but I don't think I see him in the Discord.
Oh no. I don't think I got a photo of him either, sadly.
Well, big props to him, and hopefully we can hunt one down and I can put it in post and he can be the post credit. He can be right at the end.
Absolutely.
See what I can do, or we can do as a community. We usually find these people.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Right. So this one I know because she's done these pieces before. This
Mhm.
is uh now it's gone to my brain.
Diana.
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 Yeah, Diana's amazing. And so we've got on the left is the actual photo, and on the right is one that one of her friends has edited for her, and it looks amazing edited. Just with that background extended, just makes all the difference to the photo, I feel.
It looks so good. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
I loved this cosplay. I remember, I believe the first time that she had done this cosplay was in Pro Tour LA 3 years
Mm.
ago. And that was actually my first cosplay event or cosplay competition that I had ever done.
Yeah.
So I had gotten to meet her. I remember at that event too being in the bathroom with her, and she was like debating whether she should put in the colored contacts or not because she was like, she didn't even really see them,
Mm.
and I've never put in contacts before, but I have them, so I feel like I should use them. And I tried to give her some tips, but I've never put on a contact in my life, so I I really couldn't be helpful there. Um,
Yeah.
but I loved seeing her reuse this cosplay. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, um, you don't get to do that a lot. And with
No.
this new system, you can. And I think
Mm.
that is nice. It means that you can kind of save a little bit of time and energy and money where you could just be like, yeah, I'll just improve my old one a little bit and then I'll resubmit it or I'll just show up in it and I can get some cool stuff and play some games with some cool friends and some pictures. So I loved seeing this again and she looked absolutely fantastic. The details on the boots were so amazing. I know she was talking
Yeah.
about them, about how it was like chipping a little bit and I was like, you can't even tell. And even if like I could, it looks like it's part of it. So
Yeah.
absolutely
It just looks
fantastic. Love her
amazing.
so
Yeah.
much.
Right. So there we've got Max or Rachel, and she looks amazing. that wig looks like her normal hair. She has done a wonderful job with it. I think there was a little bit of story behind that, with her using her actual hair dye on it to make it look nicer. Um, I think I remember in the Discord, so it looks amazing. Um, and this is one again where she has um, a refurbished of costume, I think. Um, she's had this one in her wardrobe for a while, I think.
I think that's right. Or at least she had like some of the pieces that she had been planning on
Mm,
using but didn't end up. Um, yeah, I love this costume. The everything from the cape using the different textures of leaves, really like sold it for me. And then she had, I believe, printed or cut out each individual of the leaf on her skirt part and the sort
yeah,
of like middle loincloth part.
yeah,
I think that's how you would describe that.
yeah,
And it was just so fantastic, the detail in it. And then every time she moved, she would click like from the little 3D printed
yeah.
parts, which was very fun. She was joking in the Discord about how you could hear her from a mile away, and that's how you would know that she was near. Um, it was also really funny. So between the hotel and the convention center, there was the skywalk, so you could just walk through without having to go outside.
Yeah,
Um, Occasionally, if you were walking down post cosplay for one of the days, you would just see a few sprigs of the leaves like
yeah,
scattered throughout like a little scavenger hunt. And she was like, I think she had joked about giving people a pack if they had brought her one of her leaves back because they
yeah,
had just occasionally shedded once in a while and it was really funny. But yeah, her cosplays are always so detailed and gorgeous, and I absolutely loved this one. No
yeah.
exceptions. Fantastic.
I
10 out of
can
10.
I can see how this one could be set and played in, but yeah, it would be awkward sitting down. Once you're down, it would be okay, but it would be like getting that cape into the right place so it doesn't catch on anything would be
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah.
And then Zenny. Zenny? Yes. And
Zenny,
this
yes.
one, yeah, and oh, Fire was a perfect,
Yeah.
and it looks wonderful. I love it. And she supplied a couple extra photos, so yeah, so we got one of a cosplayer playing, which is what we kind of do, don't we?
Yeah, so Zenny is Blaze. This is also a refurbished cosplay on her
Mm,
part. She cosplayed, she used Blaze last year, or not last year, 2 years ago when Nats was in Minneapolis, once again. And yeah, she said she had done a lot of reworking of this cosplay to improve it and make it look a little better, fasten things a little better. I remember back 3 years ago or 2 years ago or whatever, she had had some trouble keeping some things in place with her headpiece, I believe. So I think
yeah,
she got all of those issues figured out, and she really improved it, and it looks truly, truly, really, really good.
yeah, and it looks quite comfortable, which I like. I like comfortable.
Yeah.
And this is one of our other invited, as you said, Rachel was invited. This is one of our other invited. Her name was
Holly.
Holly, yeah. We've
Yeah.
seen quite a bit from Holly. She's done quite a few. She's actually managed to get herself a couple of tailors in the past. So, as usual, her work is on point, looks really nice, and I really enjoyed the sword. We've got a couple of angles of the sword, which is really cool.
Yeah, I loved the sword. She was telling me that she um wasn't sure. She was like, the cosplay's so simple, so I felt like I should add the sword, and I think it worked. I think her adding the sword into the cosplay really, really worked. I know she was also saying how she was like, I don't know how to pose if I don't have a prop, so I made myself a prop. I was like, you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
That's very fair. Um, so yeah, and she looked fantastic as usual. I think the thing with Holly's cosplays that always stand out to me is how detailed they are and how um just like well made they look in terms of sewing. You can
Mm,
really tell that she is a very talented seamstress, and it
mm,
shows in her work how careful and meticulous she is. Um, She's absolutely fantastic. I loved this cosplay. She looked absolutely fantastic as per usual. Um, yeah, just absolutely gorgeous.
And this background is amazing too. We had that one in Auckland as well, and it was so nice to take photos in front of. So there's four of you. Um, so Zenny, Max, Holly, and yourself, and it's quite a nice photo. And I must have skipped some by going. I must have gone all the way to the end. This is Dean. He looked amazing. He's got a few pieces of equipment. You said. Um,
Yes. So unfortunately, he's one of my locals. And I remember him messaging us as we were taking off to the airport that he had forgotten his hat, and had asked us to bring it, and unfortunately we could not. But he was cosplaying as the generic equipment set from Tales of Aria. So the
yep.
Ragamuffins hat, not seen here, unfortunately. Deep Blue, Cracker Jacks, and Runaways.
Nice.
And I believe he cosplayed this in San Diego as well. One of the nice things about a simple cosplay is you can just kind of bring it to events and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, and Dean's cosplays are always fantastic and detailed. You can see like the rings on the Cracker Jacks, the collar on the hood that I'm already deep blue. Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, and I believe in San Diego he told me that he had also upcycled some things that he had gotten. So like this was an old shirt that he had upcycled and then put the collar on to look like deep blue, and I think that's really clever. It's kind of hard to find things that are so close sometimes, but this is really, really nice and accurate to the cosplay.
Yeah. And he did an amazing job. Um, so we'll just stop sharing that. So back to us. We will leave it at that. Those wonderful cosplayers that we had. Hopefully, we will find the cracked bauble, as we always hunt for that cracked bauble in packs. So, um, and we'll tag him on somewhere. And very much thank you to him for bringing the amazing frame that helped us to frame all the beautiful cosplayers. So, thank you to the cracked bauble. Um, And any last words for that you'd like to share?
No,
So,
I think Nats was a very fun experience. Uh, Being able to be a sponsored cosplayer for the first time was really interesting and fun and enlightening to how everything works. And yeah, I look forward to Vegas the next time we get to cosplay.
yay. Yeah, so yeah, Vegas is our next big thing. Stay tuned. We might have something in between for the people that are interested. And also, what are your socials? Where can people find you?
Oh, yes. I am the Zoe Star on Blue Sky and Instagram. Those are my main two. And on Instagram, it's mostly my acting stuff. But Blue Sky is where I post a lot of my art, my cosplay, and a lot of shit posts.
Nice, nice. Yes, and we will hopefully, as the shapeshifters, there is always I try to do X. I've been a little bit off social media because I needed to do a detox of social media, but I will get back on there. And of course, on Facebook, we try to reshare anything that's related to the cosplay through the Flesh and Blood cosplay page there on Facebook. I'm Fabled Hero everywhere, NZ everywhere, and yeah, I'm going to get back into the social media. I just needed to have a little bit of a detox.
I
So
think we
thank
all
you
do.
so much, Zoe, for your wonderful view on the event. Hopefully, one day I'll get to an event, not in the foreseeable future. I did the Auckland event, and I will share some pictures from that when I get some nice photos that were taken by one of the LSS staffers of me and MJ, because I always like to catch up with her. So that will come in the future too, somewhere. Um, so thank you, everybody, and keep creating and bringing the World of Rafe to life.